Hello, Suzanne. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm actually at a friend's house dog sitting, just checking in on their dogs. I had the flu for 5 days and I don't have makeup on, or I'm just feeling a little rough. So I'm going to remain. I might pop in, but I'm going to remain out of camera because I just. You didn't get a reading to check out what I was what I was wearing, but But you can see this is a minimalist house. There's really nothing behind me here. But anyways, I wanted to just shuffle while we're kind of chatting. I'm using a deck that I just kind of, I've had for a while. It's the Marseille Arcana Tarot deck. And it's just been really good. I've been using it this holiday season throughout, and it's just been really talkative and good. So I like that you're excited about the year ahead. I don't know if everybody else is quite. 2026 has not started out great for me so far. It's like as soon as New Year's was over, I got sick, But I did do a lot of parties, and I did do a lot of socializing as far as on the work, with work and stuff. So anyways, I'm sorry I missed your birthday. It was like I saw it and I was like, oh shit, that's right. So I hope you had a good birthday, and I hope everything you're doing well. I noticed on Facebook that you posted a picture of the beach, so I didn't know if you and your family were in Florida right now, or if you're just at home, just wishful thinking and dreaming, because I think sometimes you do go for the holidays, right, to Florida. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to cut the deck, and then we're going to begin with the Celtic. Yeah, so we'll have to get together soon. This next week is crazy for me, but like the following week, things should start slowing down a little bit more. A lot of people are signing up to get the year ahead spread at my work, and just, kind of seeing, hey, check-in spread of where I'm at here at the beginning of the year kind of thing. So, but I'd like to get together and hang out if we could soon. Even if we could just go get sushi, that always seems to be nice. That place in Canton was pretty good. Or whatever you think. Your house is always chill. So, all right. That being said, here I'm going to cut the deck. And let's begin. I mean, starting out pretty good so far. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right, I'm going to put this on hold for a second because I have to go let the dogs out, but I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. It's like no time elapsed at all. Okay, so I like what this is showing, honestly. I feel like it's a little bit different than what we've kind of experienced before. Current situation is the King of Wands. King of Wands is Leo, Sag, Aries energy. King of Wands is the Midas touch, the go-getter. What's next? What's happening? Let's do it. Action, entrepreneurship, movement, passion, charisma. It's all of those. It's all of those things. And we can look at it. I could read you as, the king. I'm actually going to read you as the King of Wands in this scenario, because I know sometimes you do present as a king. But it's not even the point. It's not even the point. The situation is the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is just like Midas touch. Let's do this. Let's move forward. Let's make it happen. It's a great energy to have in your current situation, because it really is, it's about propelling things forward. It's about, not being stuck and stagnant in the past. It's absolutely about pushing and moving forward. And the card that is complementing you is the Eight of Coins, or the Eight of Pentacles. And so this is about hard work. Now, again, this could be literally about money and finances and work and stability within the work environment, but it can also just be about your home life and about what, moving forward, putting the work in. Manifestation through hard work and dedication and stability. And so even though the King of Wands is not necessarily known for stability, he's known for like spontaneity and, oh, let's do this, 100 miles an hour kind of a thing, and let's not stop to think about it. What's complementing you is the fact that there's this too. So not only is there inspiration and fortitude and perseverance and spontaneity, but there's also aptitude, hard work, stability, manifestation through diligence and sticking to something. So, I mean, honestly, great current cards. Because it doesn't just talk about the emotional inspiration of the whole thing and what drives, it's actually what are we going to do with that drive? Because, there's people that are inspired all day long. They have ideas and things that they want to do and nothing ever leaves the ground because they don't have the work ethic or they don't put the work in or things are lagging, right? So beautiful. I mean, really good energy so far. So let's take a look up in the headspace. We have the beautiful Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, actually, this is actually the Two of Pentacles, sorry, but it has Two of Wands energy. Two of Pentacles is equal give and take. It's negotiation. It's the work you put out is going to come back, even though sometimes when we put the work out, we're exhausted. We're like, oh my God, am I ever going to see this come to fruition? And the thing of it is the two of Pentacles or the Two of Coins is like, yes, because you're negotiating. And again, you see this infinity where it's like you put the work out, you get the results back. And so this is, even in your headspace, this is somebody who's grounded, stable, willing to work the long hours, willing to pull the long nights. And again, this doesn't just have to be about finances and work. This can be about relationship. This can be about life. This can be about, wanting to put your best foot forward and, still maintain the sense of wonder and the sense of excitement. Like in The Shining when he said all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy, right? So that could be this if you're just going through the motions. But because you have this beautiful King of Wands backing you up, which is that inner core, that inspiration, that excitement, then you're able to move forward. And you're able to do that, I don't want to say tirelessly, because, the Two of Pentacles does suggest that there is some juggling, right? But again, great place to be. So then we go down to, so that's the head. The heart is the King of Wands, also your current situation. And then your foundation. Now here is where we get to the Two of Wands. So we have a Two of Pentacles in the headspace, which is where we want the two. Well, I mean, the Two of Pentacles would be fine in the foundation too. Now we have a Two of Wands in the foundation. So we have two suits here that are extremely prominent. Obviously, we've only been doing this 10 minutes, and we have coins and we have wands. Coins are about practicality, about work, about stability. Wands are about doing it, about being inspired, about that inspiration. Because again, we can just wake up every day and go to work and keep doing it and keep plugging along. It's the inspiration behind it. And again, it doesn't have to be just work related. It could be just where you're at. It's a really good, the Celtic is a really good check-in spread as to where you're at. And so and the fact that you're flanked by two twos, like your heart is surrounded by twos, which is partnerships. And so that can be your own partnership. That's you and your higher self, negotiating, doing what you need to do, you and your business acumen, all of these things, you and your children, just all of the things. So when we look at the Two of Wands it's what's driving you. It's the inspiration. I could say we're standing on business, but our head is in business, and we're actually standing on fun and excitement. We're actually standing on potential. Okay, so beautiful. All right, so let's do past, present, future. Let's take a look in the past. We have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is the marriage card. This card it's coming out in the past. It did come out reversed. Sometimes there can be disharmony in the household, things that have to change. It's still a great card. It's a card of marriage. It's the household or the household, however you want to look at that. But it is, it did show a little bit of disharmony and, maybe not a lack of peace, but a need to get to kind of make things a little bit more peaceful. I do like that it's in the past, but I also feel like, it's pertinent. I mean, because again, sometimes we have to make up for lack, especially when we are in a relationship. We have to, and as women, a lot of times we have to make up for these, the lack of what's, not happening. Or what, we kind of have to cut the slack, do double duty to keep the peace and harmony. And so there's definitely a little bit of that here. But when I look at this card reversed, it just means that there's been some peace, some disharmony, and just a little bit of upset, not feeling as stable and sturdy as we wanted to in the past. And so now it's like you're totally changing that vibe. And then we go, and this is why I was saying about reading you as the King of Wands, is that in the near future, we have a Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, I'm going to read as your dude. But even if I just read the situation, because this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but even if I just read the Queen of Cups for what she is, unconditional love, intuition, good communication, being in a good place emotionally, unconditional love, having, your cup filled up, feeling optimistic about the future. That's definitely the Queen of Cups. And if we put the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups together, we do have your natural suits, Scorpio and Sag. But and these aren't ones that normally go together because we have fire and water. Obviously water can douse fire, and sometimes fire has a hard time getting going with water when there's a lot of water around, obviously. But I do like the fact, and I'm going to try to pan. I can kind of see how the King and the Queen are kind of gazing at each other. And what's in between them is the Eight of Pentacles, which is hard work and dedication and things that they want to manifest. So just, it's kind of funny because they're like gazing at each other here through the, through the present and going into the near future. So I'm going to turn over the advice. I think we're off to a really good start. So I'm curious to see what the advice of the cards is going to be. Pretty good. I mean, we have a devil, but pretty good. So how you feel about this situation is the, oh, wow. Okay. Is that a two? Okay. So now we have that's really strange. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out because this deck appears to have two of wands. These are wands. These are not swords. These are wands. When you see the flower, these are wands. So kind of interesting. So now how you feel about the situation is also the two of wands. Because I thought for a second, oh shoot, did I read that wrong? Because was that two of swords that changes the reading? But it's like, no, there's no swords there. Those aren't swords. Those are wands. And so again, this particular deck has two of wands. And I don't know if there's like a significance to it or not. Again, this is a very old French deck, and I think sometimes they do have extra cards. But either way, you have two of wands. And I love this. Because the two of wands is about self-empowerment. And that's how you feel about this whole situation, is empowered. And also in a good partnership, in a good place, in a good partnership. Again, inspired, ready to move forward, all of these things. It's a beautiful thing. And again, the fact that we have two of wands, and I'm like, I keep looking at these, I'm like, am I missing something? But I'm not, because Two of Swords is the swords. And it has clearly a sword in it. Anyways, I like that you have Two of Wands. Twos are about partnerships. So far we have 3 cards that indicate, stable partnerships. So this is where we get to the fun part. This is, I guess, the only fly in the ointment is that I see the Devil, and the Devil is in the external. What's the advice from Spirit? What's the advice from the cards? And we have the Devil. Now, we are in Capricorn season for a little bit longer. We have a week? I think we have another week, and then we get into Aquarius season. So we still are in Capricorn season. But what this is external. This could definitely be watching any kind of overindulgence, whether that's financial, whether that is, alcohol, whether that is just any sort of, behaviors that are not aligning with how you want to present and how you want to live, and how I don't want you to get sidetracked. This is to be honest with you, you don't have any majors. This is the first major. So when this dude comes out, when we're talking about what's the advice of the universe, what's the advice of the cards, we got this Capricorn. And it's like, oh dear. And Capricorn, it just talks about sliding into bad habits, falling into patterns, getting chained and bound with things that we don't normally want to get chained and bound again. It could even be something, I don't want to say simple because it's not simple, but is setting boundaries with a person or a situation. And so, yes. So he's definitely showing it looks just a very strange, this is a very, very odd Devil, but whatever. Anyways, it's medieval, so I think they were already a little odd over there anyways. But anyways, this is something that to be careful of. Not wanting to, even if it's something as easy as not wanting to repeat patterns of the past. Again, that's not easy. But what I mean is they could be representative of don't get caught up in habits and stuff of the past. So let's see what your obstacle is moving forward. We have the Lovers. Yep. So not, being careful not to repeat patterns, especially in relationships, But the Lovers is also about making choices. And if you look, these are really the same cards. This is prior to the Garden of Eden, and this is post Garden of Eden. This is pre-expulsion. This is post, right? So these are actually kind of a suited pair, kind of sister cards. So it's really about making good choices and keeping those choices and realizing the consequences of those choices. So it's interesting that you got both of these together. And then the outcome card is the Five of Cups in reverse, which again, love Five of Cups in reverse much better. Five of Cups is, can be the card of grief and loss and heartbreak and pessimism and just things being difficult. Just things being emotionally difficult, and how sometimes we have a tendency, to look at the, worst case scenario and all that. And so the Five of Cups is like, I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to go backwards. And that could be why this Devil is showing. And that could be why the Lovers are like, nope, it's time to make better choices. It's time to do exactly what you want to be doing. And the Five of Cups is here to say, I don't want to look at the cups half empty anymore. I want to figure out a way of keeping buoyant, of keeping, of course, do we always fall back? Sure. But it's really about lifestyle changes also. Could have to do with overindulgence. It could have to do with drinking. And I say that just because the Devil and the Five of Cups, but it can also be about ways of thinking and behaviors also. Okay, so I do like the Five of Cups reverse because it kind of says these cups are spilled. That's fine. I'm not trying to go back and relive anything. And then we go to the hopes and fears. We have the 6. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got to count. We have the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is the card of pre-planning, perseverance, reaping what you sow. Definitely pre-planning. It's about planning and the potential for success. And so when we look at this in your hopes and fears, I think it's great. I think there's like a tentative, like, oh, I want this success. And there's a tentative about it. There's not arrogance about it. There's like, well, if I tend this garden, if I do the things I'm supposed to, that should be a recipe for success. But you know what? I'm going to, be very cautious. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but I'm also going to be cautious. So it's a tentative card. That's the thing about sevens, is they're very tentative. It's up to you. It's kind of like making your own luck. It's not necessarily making your own good luck. It's about making your own luck, good luck or bad luck, however the chips fall. But the fact that it's upright and it's in your hopes and fears, the hope is if I plan for things, if I follow what I'm supposed to be doing, the potential should be success, right? So, we can look at this, if we look at it as a fear, which is not really even a fear-based card, it could be that like sometimes we don't reap what we sow. Sometimes we put the very best things into our garden only, to have the garden fail because some external force. Okay, that is true. And that's always a fear, but the fact that your optimism far outweighs your pessimism, so it's good. And then your outcome is one of the best cards of the deck, right? So we have the Ten of Pentacles, la la la. Ten of Pentacles is the happy household. It's the card of legacy. It's the card of inheritance. It's the card of fruition, abundance. Again, the harvest coming to fruition, which is what we're nervous about here, right? Which is what you're working towards here right now, the Eight of Pentacles. So it's almost like we skip the Nine of Pentacles entirely and go right to the Ten of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, I got this. So even your outcome is great. There is this reading is so positive. And the fact that I have like 12 cards out here and I only have 2 majors, is pretty good, because sometimes when the majors come out, it's like, oh God, I don't, do I need these lessons? What is happening? And I don't want all these lessons, and I'm good, and blah, blah, blah. So when we look at this, the fact that there's 2 majors and they're both kind of related, the Devil and the Lovers, are really about decisions and choices. And so when there's decisions and choices, it makes us feel like, okay, I do have a hand in what happens in my situation and what happens next. I do. So that makes us feel a little bit more, comforted. And also the fact, because these cards are all proactive. There's no cards about waiting around and seeing what happens. Sometimes the Queen of Cups will do that. I don't necessarily read her as your energy, though. I read this as a complementary energy, in your future. So I'm going to convert this to my YouTube and I will get this uploaded to you. I hope you enjoyed. It's a great glimpse into where you're at now and the potential of where you are going, mostly because you're driving the bus, right? So this isn't just flying by the seat of your pants sort of energy. Even though the King of Wands likes to do that, he does like to know that, like, okay, I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants, but I'm going to land in, like, on a golden cushion, right? So anyways, let's talk about getting together soon. I'm going to convert this to on my YouTube and upload this. Give a listen. Let me know what you think. If you need any clarification, as you know, always. But this reading is a lot better and a lot different than I think the one before. And even if there is some difficulties, whatever it is something that you're working out. And again, when we look at the external pile here, it's kind of like, well, yeah, she's definitely got to make sure that, she makes the right decisions and choices. But I mean, isn't that the key to just about everything? So anyway, thanks, Suzanne, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.